Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Speak on the Podcast. I am your host, Big Mike. Please excuse my voice. I'm a little under the weather, but I am here, and we are here for you another week. And what a week in sports it's been. Of course, you know I'm here. I can't do it alone. I got the fellas with me. Got the Mad Producer Podcast Poppy in the building.
A lot of things that we'll talk later about.
A lot of things. Got my man Enoch in the building.
How's it going, guys?
What does that shirt say?
Is it Triforce? It's Triforce.
Yeah.
And got my man Breezy in the building. I don't know what he's doing. He's here. Oh, there he is.
Hi. Want me to stick 9-inch nails in each one of my eyelids? Hi.
You're quiet, Anthony. What? You know, nothing. Okay.
Wait, what? It was James' turn.
He said hi. I just wondered if you was going to say hi back or if you was not talking to him.
Oh, no, I didn't know he was talking to me. My bad.
I said hi, kids. What the hell, Mike? What are you talking about? Listen, content over everything, Mike. I see you.
We're here. It's been a week. Let's get right into it because I wasn't sure how this episode was going to start. It was either going to be very funny because Dylan was going to go on a rampage, or it was going to be very funny because Dylan has to accept the fact that Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. But he's
not a Jet yet. He's not a Jet yet.
We're still in the middle because he's not a Jet.
He's still a hostage.
So this is the most Jets thing ever. Like,
but the problem is, it's not the Jets. That's the problem here. The problem here is like Rodgers aired out all of the dirty laundry of the Packers, and now they're just making life difficult because he held his narrative and he was in complete control of his narrative the whole time. As annoying as it is, as a Jet fan, to have to keep dealing with this, I think it's cool that somebody actually had control of their narrative for once in these things, and hearing people like Schefter and Diana Rossini and Rappaport and all these guys try their hardest to find something out, and then they get his number and they text him and he's just like, lose my number.
Which shout out to Shefty for owning it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, he said that. He told me to go to hell. Yeah,
he did.
He did.
And it was interesting because I was watching all of it. I watched it all live, and I was sending like the important quotes to the group chat as it was going on, just so it's not like me saying it. I'm just like, hey, no, this is what's happening. And I don't think I posted some of the beginning where he was like, I went into that because he went on his darkness retreat. He's like, I went into my darkness retreat 90% retired, which is a little crazy to me. And then he's like, I come out and then I find out that the Packers are trying to trade me. And he's like, then my mindset switched completely. Now I'm all in on playing. And I was like, oh, we have the whole pissed off Aaron Rodgers thing. Oh, yay. Like, great.
Which is amazing that you feel that way, because the last time he got pissed off, he won 2 straight MVPs. So, like, why wouldn't you
care about it? I don't care about MVPs. Why would I give a fuck about an MVP? My team hasn't made the playoffs in 10 years. Why do I care?
Has your team ever had an MVP?
We have MVP candidates, but not an MVP.
I would think you would be happy, Dylan, because it's like you guys said you were a quarterback away, you know, and if you get an MVP like quarterback, it might turn into a championship.
I don't care for Aaron Rodgers.
But will you take him?
If the Jets trade him, I have no choice. But
listen.
But here's the thing.
Here you go with the I have no choice hill.
I will not take him.
No
I will
choice
not
hill.
take him. But I will be held
would
accountable
take-
because the Jets trade for him.
No. Let me ask you. Now let me ask you.
This is a lose-lose question.
No. Now let me ask you. Because I know you were all in on Mike White, or Aaron Rodgers.
Oh no, Aaron Rodgers I would take over Mike White.
All right, then shut the hell up. Shut it up.
My problem is with all of this, it's not like I'm getting 34-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I'm getting
doesn't
40-year-old.
Now
Aaron
you're
Rodgers.
giving me the Rise argument.
38-year-old Rodgers like MVP.
Now you're giving me the Rise argument. Oh, if I'm getting this is gonna be legitimately I'm getting 40-year-old LeBron.
I don't want a year
30
of this.
point
No,
LeBron.
here's the thing. I don't want a year of this. That's the thing. When he got LeBron and he's like, oh, I don't want 36-year-old LeBron, blah 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 blah. At least he knew he was getting LeBron for X amount of years. He knew he was going to get the length of his contract. I don't know that.
The Raptors knew they were getting Kawhi for a year, and what did they get in that year?
A championship.
The greatest player in franchise history.
In Raptor history.
I will be negative on Aaron Rodgers until we win a Super Bowl.
See?
What?
Just sit along for the ride. This is why I don't
Damn.
understand.
What the heck?
Just
Look at that. You don't think the bar you raised the bar a little too high on that one?
I will.
Seeing as you're only gonna have him for like a year or two.
A year, because if you don't do that, you go all in. If this costs us the draft capital, I think it's going to cost us for a fucking year. It better be the all in, like, oh, you win the fucking Super Bowl and you ride off into the sunset. Because if you don't, it's a failure.
So what if he gives you what Brady gave the Bucks?
A Super Bowl?
A Super Bowl and then a shitty next year.
Greatest shit of all time.
And then a shitty third year.
I got my Super Bowl. Something I think I'd ever get in my life.
This is Mike. Listen,
isn't it worth? Wouldn't that be worth it then?
But that's not the world we live in. That's not the world we live in.
Saying this now,
That's
Mike,
not the world we live in.
That's not the world we live in.
He's saying
I'm
this
tempering
now
my
because
expectations.
if they got a championship in New York for the Jets and then was shit, he
wouldn't be shit because he'd retire
all the way up the hill, all the way back down the hill.
I'd be to the moon. I'd be damn near the fucking sun if we got the championship.
Yeah, I think it'd be Roz that would be like, this guy stinks, get him out of here, blah, blah, blah. I knew that this was going to happen because Roz knew that LeBron was going to get hurt every year that he was on the Lakers, even though LeBron had never been hurt before in his career. But Roz knew he was going to get hurt when he signed with the Lakers. But yeah.
No, I already understand. Like, I've read this book before.
Yes, because it's happened before.
It's happened before.
I know how the story ends.
I know how this story ends. The story ends in heartbreak. The story, history repeats itself. And it's the same situation where disgruntled old Green Bay quarterback,
Packer great,
wants out. The Jets go all in.
I think that he does. Even though I called Rodgers getting hurt week 4, that's me saying anything. I don't even fucking watch football, but I think
which can happen because he's brittle and he has like collarbones made of twigs.
But I can't wait for the moment that they have a better season than last year and they get into the playoffs and they win the first round and they go on this run and Dylan will not be able to contain his Jet fandom no matter what it is on the field. If it's Rodgers, he doesn't care. Your Jet fandom override, your emotions will override that every single time. There's nothing you can tell me.
Here's what you don't understand about me. Anthony, you're dumb. Here's what you don't understand about me is I will die if I really am to the point where I am with Rodgers and I really think I'm going to be this way all season no matter what happens where it's like I'm just waiting for the failure. I'm waiting for the failure. You guys don't know this Jet fan me where it's like the first year
there's another side.
There's the first year we did this podcast, we logged in every week, and I rewatched a couple episodes the other day of like our first like 3, and it's just be like, we stink. Like, why do I fucking care? But I'm still here watching all the games. It's gonna be the same thing where it's like, yeah, well, I'm just waiting for Aaron to fuck up.
See,
Why
I
are
don't
you weird?
believe you because we've all lived through this with Brooklyn. We've seen this story. We saw this with you with Brooklyn.
Yeah, but I like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant.
You will
Doesn't
like Aaron
I don't
Rodgers.
like Aaron Rodgers.
You will like Aaron Rodgers when he's throwing for 300
You don't like his
yards.
exactly. You don't like his talent. You don't like him as a person.
I think he's overrated.
Is he washed?
I said that, yes.
Now,
Got it on
being
record,
over
James.
him
There you go.
now him being the overrated washed Aaron Rodgers that you believe him to be. If he's out there throwing, I think he's more than capable of doing what Anthony is saying, that 300
Couple touchdowns.
couple tutties.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if he does that, it's still like worse than what he's been. So it's still like is still in that wheelhouse.
But you know why that doesn't matter?
Why does
Billy?
that matter?
Because all the Jets need is a quarterback. If they have a quarterback, then we can't lose. Isn't that what you were screaming?
Those words.
No, I
all
think that there's a
came out of my
word.
mouth. Those words didn't come out of my mouth. You need to stop it.
See.
If the Jets get a quarterback, we can't lose. Those words never came out of my fucking mouth.
I think there's a world where Dylan puts up a facade for us, but is enjoying this ride.
No, my
behind
mom was
closed
asking about this today when I was taking her appointment. She was like, "How do you feel about this?" Because she's like, she knows who Aaron Rodgers is. I was like, "I'm out." Well, my mom's blind, so
top 10 quarterback of all time. How do you not know about Aaron Rodgers?
and she's like, "How do you feel about this?" I'm like, I don't like it. They should have jumped out of the airplane on their way to California when they're talking to him to call Lamar Jackson. Like abandon, like Woody, turn the plane around. Like I'm not here. My problem with the Jets over the last 15 years is whenever they go and they do like this rebuild thing, they try to take shortcuts and accelerate a rebuild by bypassing something. So instead of doing the thing that makes sense like down the road, they're going to try to fix immediate, and then it fucks up for the next 4 years by doing the immediate, by worrying about the immediate, and then it backfires and blows up in our face. And that's why it's very upsetting to see Roz so excited about this.
It's hilarious.
Because he's usually the one in my predicament, my shoes right now, trying to being the pessimist. And I'm just like, if Roz is to the moon about this, then this is going to end horribly. This is going to end horribly.
I can't wait. I really cannot wait because.
And the worst part about it is if the Jets, like, if Rodgers was on the Jets last year, the Jets have 11 wins. Like, it's just, that's just how it is. And this year, the Jets are going to have a double-digit win total this year. And the problem is, Saleh is not going to get any of the credit, and he's still going to be trying to fire Robert Saleh.
Oh, he's absolutely
the whole way through. He's still going to be trying to fire the Robert Saleh, even though a potential playoff run is there or whatever the fuck happens. Like, he's still going to be finding a way to shit on Robert Saleh the whole time. And it's unbelievable.
I can't wait because we know how this is going to play out.
It's going to be a soap opera.
He's going to be a new quarterback on a new team. The Jets are going to start 2-2 because they're going to be trying to figure it out. And Braz is going to lose his mind. It'll be everybody's fault except Aaron Rodgers. And I can't, unless Rodgers is just absolutely horrendous, but it will be everyone's fault except Aaron's. And I can't wait for Roz Dylan part 64 because it is going to be hilarious.
I'm getting pissed off right now thinking about Aaron Rodgers being horrible and having to come in here and be like, I fucking told you so. I fucking told you so. I've read this story before. You know what happened? I hated that book. And then you had me go, and then you told me I have to reread it. I read 2 pages, I closed the book and put it back on the shelf.
I hate to tell you, but with next year's schedule, it's looking very likely that could happen. Very likely.
What, the NFC East? I'm all set.
Well, Washington's going to be terrible, but the Giants, Cowboys, and Eagles all should be.
I'll believe in the Giants when their defense gets better.
Patrick
But
Mahomes.
I do love them trading for Darren Waller.
We all do.
I absolutely love them trading for Darren Waller. No, Anthony.
I love it. No, I love him more than y'all. I was jumping for doing they did that shit.
Another one that didn't fit that Vegas culture, right, Anthony?
He was an injured bum. Fuck him. We have Foster Moreau.
You have Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback, and you're talking about
we have Foster Moreau, who's a better tight end anyway. He's more reliable.
He's not a better tight end. Darren Waller, when he's healthy, and he stinks.
When he's healthy.
Darren Waller is a top 4 tight end in football.
When he's healthy, but he's not healthy.
And Foster Moreau, when he's healthy, isn't even top 20.
Foster Moreau is a serviceable tight end. Very serviceable.
Oh, yeah. So, Anthony, are you going to be punching air when Darren Waller stays healthy and is catching touchdown passes for the Giants?
But that won't happen, though.
So you're predicting an injury.
He's predicting, but he says Darren Waller is an injured bum, but ignores who plays quarterback for them now.
Good point, Dylan.
That guy has played all the games in a season maybe one time, and I think that, and even I think that Super Bowl run he missed 2 games. Like, this guy's always hurt.
But at this point, like, if you miss 1 game, I'm not going to hold that against someone if they miss a game.
No, but he's never played all the games in his career, ever.
I don't think he's played a full 16.
Never has played all the games he's supposed to be the starter for. He's never played all. When he had that 4-game run, or was supposed to be a 4-game run in New England after the Deflategate stuff, he got hurt week 2.
But you know the thing is, for me, honestly, something inside me is telling me that we're going to draft a quarterback.
No shit.
You think so?
I'm talking. We're going to get Will. I think we're going to draft Will.
Absolutely, because Anthony Richardson's going 1st overall.
You think he's going 1st overall?
Yep.
He does.
I heard it was C.J. Stroud.
No, I've been the stuff that I'm reading says that Frank Reich is in love with Anthony Richardson.
But they also said he's in love with C.J. though.
And Carolina knows the success of a quarterback with Anthony Richardson's style.
But he's a raw product, though.
Yes, but if you're Carolina and you have this new head coach, you believe in the offensive system of your new head coach, even though I think Frank Reich is a fucking horrible play caller and was trying to fight Roz for trying to make Frank Reich the offensive coordinator of the Jets.
Yes.
I was trying to fight him when he was saying that stuff. When he was like, but we got Hackett. I was like, at least Hackett as an offensive play caller has led a top 5 offense in football. Fucking Frank Reich ran the Chargers team that one time and it was 16. I'm all set. and Hackett's a bad head coach. Fine. Some guys can't do that.
Hackett got you Aaron Rodgers. So all is well that ends well.
The worst thing that happens now is Rodgers doesn't even come because the Packers are playing hardball and the Jets are like, no, I'm not going to give you 2 first-round picks for a guy who doesn't want to play on your team, and you have to trade him sooner or later, or that cap hit becomes $70 million. So you need to do something.
Yeah, I'm interested because I don't see how the Packers can really play this game because
they need to get rid of his money so they could try to make free agents work.
As long as Aaron doesn't retire, his cap hit to not play is ridiculous.
If he's on the roster on June 1st, it's a $70 million cap hit.
Cool.
Because they have to pay him the roster bonus.
So
this may not be a thing it's not gonna be done until probably around the draft.
Yeah, because the Jets just have to hold on. The Jets just have to plant their foot in the dirt and just hold the line. Because there's no way that they shouldn't win this trade. I still think y'all are giving up a first, though.
Don't give up this year's first. If you're gonna give up a first, give up next year's first.
We'll see.
Because this year's first is too valuable for what we need.
Aaron Rodgers is too valuable.
What's the point of having a 40-year-old quarterback if you don't have a guy who can block for him on the left side?
The one banner.
There's no point in having him if you can't protect the 40-year-old who has collarbones of twigs.
Why do you need a first round to protect him? You can't get somebody in the second round?
because you want a blue chip left tackle. You don't want a guy you have to like reach for who may not be that guy. And let me tell you something about this Jets team over the last 25 years, Anthony. They don't notoriously draft linemen in the later rounds well. All of the linemen that the Jets have ever gotten that have been great have been first rounders.
Sounds like a Jets problem.
It does sound like a Jet problem. I'm not blaming anybody else.
Villain is doom and gloom, baby.
Sounds like a lose-lose situation here.
Not really. Like if you get Aaron Rodgers, like again, you're more than like his win shares added is exactly what the Jets need. Like the Jets need that. Like there is positives to it, but like I'm looking 2 years down the line and not like in front of me.
So let's say you get him, which we all know you're going to. Is this a Super Bowl or bust season?
It has to be, or else again, it's a failure. Whether we make the playoffs for the first time in 10 years, or we win a playoff game or whatever, like what you invest in Aaron Rodgers and you don't go to the Super Bowl, like
it has to be go to the Super Bowl. Can't be AFC.
For me, it has to be. For me, it has to be. Because if you make it to the AFC Championship game, you I've again read this story before. Like you have to do it. You have to do it. And this season may be miserable for me. Even though like things I haven't seen, but then it's like I don't want to get so excited about this, and then the next year we go back to Zach and he's fucking dog shit, and now all the momentum that you built with this team and signed all these guys under 4-year deals just to be back to where you were the year before, you take 4 steps forward, like 2 steps forward, just take 6 back. Like it just doesn't make sense for me. That's why it's like at least with Lamar, you know you're going to get him for fucking ever. Like
paying him forever too.
Good. That's what happens. Let's say the Jets drafted a fucking quarterback next year and he turned out to be the fucking truth, the absolute truth. You're gonna have to pay him when his contract is up anyway.
But you'll have time with that quarterback. You'll have time.
And then you have to keep him.
Yeah, but in those years, those pre-extension years, you have plenty of time and plenty of money to build a championship roster.
Let's just act like we drafted him instead of Sam Darnold. Bam. Now it's time to pay him. Same timeline. We had those 4 years without him. Didn't work out well. Now we got this guy. Pay him.
So that will conclude Aaron Rodgers' talk until the trade happens eventually.
Being held hostage by this man. And
until Rodgers gets here, and then this will have a totally different tone when Rodgers is here.
Oh, Lord.
Because he's going to be sitting there like, oh, they hired the fumigation team for the cookies. Aaron Rodgers is going to save us. He's going to save us. From what? What's Aaron Rodgers going to save us from?
Negative, man.
I do want to just point out one thing that James did put in the chat about that quote from Zach Wilson saying he's going to make the veteran quarterback's life a living
I was
hell.
rolling when I saw that shit.
And then he's like, oh no, my childhood idol is going to be the quarterback in front of me. Fuck. I'll get your coffee, Mr. Rodgers. I'll get you your ayahuasca before practice. I'll do all of that for you. Fuck off. That kid's a dildo.
Wow. Because what really happens, here's the way this story really ends. Aaron Rodgers comes for 2 years, and then Zach Wilson becomes the Jets quarterback for that 5th year. So they didn't see what they got. And
if you tell me I get Aaron Rodgers for 2 years, I will be happier. But nobody can guarantee me that. That's the problem here. That's the real problem here. That's the rub. Nobody can tell me it's beyond a year because he was literally all but a foot outside the door of playing again.
Until the Packers told him he stinks.
Until the Packers were like, yo, we don't want you here. And he's like, oh, I got a chip in my shoulder for 1 year. He's like, I got this chip in my shoulder. Well, the only way you'll ever play the Packers again is either in the Super Bowl or in 4 years. So it's not going to happen because we just played you fucking guys. So you're not going to get your revenge unless we trade you to the Vikings. Which is the other ending of this story where Aaron Rodgers becomes a fucking Viking. and it's just Brett Favre all over again.
I doubt that happens, but we'll see. We're going to talk about the NFL conspiring against Lamar Jackson?
Yes, because it's apparent. And shout out to Lamar for airing out the Ravens to fucking dry for all this bullshit they've been putting out there to the reporters. Just for him to be like, nah, what do I need an agent for? They offered me 3 years, $133 million guaranteed. That's what they gave me. Not this fucking $200 million. They didn't give me that.
And that contract is insulting.
It's very insulting. That's wild to me.
I'm surprised we're even at the point.
Well, is he just talking? Well, he may be just talking about the guaranteed portion. He was
offered. Well, the guaranteed portion of the money is the fully guaranteed contract.
Well, I'm talking about the contract as a whole. What was he offered? Because I think he's only talking
133.
No, I'm talking about the whole contract.
3 years, 133.
So that's it.
That's the offer he was given. Fully guaranteed. 3 years, 133.
Oh.
Now call him a greedy pig, Anthony. Now call that man a greedy pig.
He's still greedy, but
he found out the organization's lying. Organizations doing negotiation tactics through the fucking media.
If you're Lamar Jackson with that talent,
with the MVP,
are you taking 3 years?
Oh yes.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking 3 years, 130.
Let me get the Uncle Ruckus music.
Then that's all that matters. If you can put yourself in the situation, you'll automatically know how the other person may feel.
I think you should get at least 150 million guaranteed. What is that?
That is an insulting.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson. Really good running back. It's a shame that the Ravens ain't trying to pay him. But he needs to learn how to play football like the white man. Like Peyton John Elway, Dan Marino. Real pioneers of the sport. Not with these other.
Oh, no.
Not like him and that Deshaun Watson, that Kyler Murray. They need to go put him somewhere else because they're ruining my game. The white man's game. That's you, Anthony. This guy right here.
Ruining my game, the white man's game.
Oh.
That's you, Anthony. Every time anybody mentions a black quarterback getting paid, you got a problem. Next year will be, Jalen Hurts. Everybody thinks it's him, but it's not. Put that Gardner Minshew in there, and they'll do the same.
Give him our 3 years.
Hey, let Philly fucking pay him. Go ahead, get your bag. Anthony's the ultimate pocket watcher when it comes to people's contracts.
Absolutely.
I think
nobody's worth anything to Anthony.
I think the two highest paid quarterbacks in the league should be Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert. I think those should be the two highest paid quarterbacks.
Who?
Justin Herbert and Pat Mahomes. Those should be the two highest.
Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Joe Burrow, the only one outside of Patrick Mahomes who's actually done something.
Listen, I'm going to stand by what I said for one reason and one reason only. You look at what Joe Burrow's had versus Herbert. Herbert dealt with an injured crew of receivers damn near the whole year, and he still put up phenomenal numbers. Now, again, as much as I hate the Chargers, I can't hate on the dude like that. The dude can ball. Joe Burrow has had the comforts of Chase, Higgins, Boyd, tight end. I can't remember.
Line.
Okay, but he still has a massive
ACL because of the offensive line.
I'm not talking about his damn ACL. I'm talking about this past season,
where he was getting the most sacked quarterback in football. That guy.
Yeah, he also had 3 stud receivers and a really good running back.
Wait. So Anthony, go ahead. Explain to me again, Justin Herbert. Why it should be him?
What was that?
Why it should be Justin Herbert?
should be Justin Herbert and Pat Mahomes. Those should be the top two highest paid quarterbacks.
Why is that?
Because they make the players around them better.
Justin Herbert. We love him with his long, flowing blonde hair and half of Patrick Mahomes. We love half of Patrick Mahomes because his daddy on top of that pitcher's mound, New York, ruining the white man's game of baseball. And he made this seed who's now ruining the white man's game of football. He's no.
Oh man!
How you could say Justin Herbert, who has how many playoff wins does he have?
None.
Oh, it's zero.
But here, no, I'm not gonna let you do this because
come on now, come on.
Stat.
It's not his fault. The Chargers had an epic collapse. Like,
no, Anthony, but you can't do this too because you are a big proponent of quarterbacks being a win stat, so you can't argue against it. So you have to be consistent on your points because I'll do the win stat for Joe Burrow because in those games where they won the playoff games, he put those teams on his back to win. Like that Kansas City game where they were down, they won because of him. Like he dragged that team through there. They got to the Super Bowl because of him, not because of anybody else, because of him. It don't matter. Like you could give T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst, Joe Mixon, Samaj P. Ryan to any quarterback, and they will not produce the way that Joe Burrow produced.
I mean,
what?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say all that.
Yeah, that's going
the way Joe Burrow produced. No.
So you tell me Herbert wouldn't produce
Joe
the same
Burrow is
result?
that guy. They're different quarterbacks. I've been the only person here who says Joe Burrow is better than Herbert from day one.
But you don't think Herbert would produce the same results?
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that though, Dylan.
No,
yeah,
I don't. I don't know how Herbert would react to having no offensive line the way Burrow has. I don't think Herbert has the same IQ in the pocket that Joe Burrow has to be able to be aware of the surroundings and make the quick throw every single time and know what's coming. I don't think he can analyze defenses the way Joe Burrow
But do you not think that's easier to do when you have the talent around you?
No, because you need time at the line.
Yeah.
No, I understand you need time, but it does make it a smidgen.
Your wide receivers don't matter unless you have time at the line, unless
when you have people who are good at creating separation, it helps out a little bit.
What good is separation if you're on your back?
Yeah,
I said it does help out a little bit, though. You can't deny it doesn't help out.
There's a reason why when you talk about the four most important players in football, wide receiver is not on the list. It's your quarterback. It's your left tackle to protect the quarterback. It's your pass rusher to sack the quarterback. And it's your corner to make throwing the ball more difficult. There's a reason why wide receiver is not there. Your offensive line is the most important part of it. And Joe Burrow, even with the worst offensive line in football, at last year it was better, but still the most sacked quarterback in football, still comes in there and fucks everybody up. Everybody up. There's a reason for it.
Except Pat Mahomes.
And he brought Pat Mahomes to fucking hell in that game. and again, that's the only time he's lost to Pat Mahomes. So they have had to beat each other to get to the Super Bowl at this point. So there's a reason. I will give you Pat Mahomes, but Pat Mahomes already got his contract. Unfortunately, when you're drafted a couple years before other guys who need contract extensions, it's not how it works. So the first quarterback available is going to be the next highest paid quarterback, and the next year the next highest paid. Like Jalen Hurts, whoever, if Lamar gets his money, guess what? Jalen Hurts is going to come out and ask for the same thing Lamar got and more.
But Dylan,
that's how it goes.
Back to the point, though. I do not believe I know for a fact that if you put Jalen Hurts or if you put Lamar Jackson, and I'm even going to go this far, if you put Dak Prescott on that Bengals team,
I wouldn't go that far.
They're not doing the same. They're not doing the same.
They're producing. They're winning. They're doing the same.
They're not doing the same.
I agree. Except
it's a different.
Well, you may agree, but you guys are wrong.
It's a different team, but they are.
You guys are wrong.
You don't. But Dylan, you can't seriously think that you put Lamar on that team and that's not a Super Bowl team, like automatic.
I don't think Lamar's as good as Joe Burrow. I don't.
Okay. How many games? This music played for me though.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'll do here. How many playoff games have you watched Joe Burrow have to come back and win? There's a handful of them, right? There's a handful of those games. How many playoff games have you seen Lamar Jackson down, come back and win? The answer is 0. They don't play well being down. And it's because he has his own inabilities to be able to do things. I do think he has gotten better, and I think he absolutely deserves a fully guaranteed contract.
It would be hard for me, too, if I had to throw to the fucking receiving core that I had. Come on now.
Exactly.
Like, seriously, you can't just leave that obvious part out.
If you're a great quarterback, your receivers shouldn't matter.
What?
You're right. You're right, Dylan. But great quarterback.
But Lamar is not a great thrower of the football. He's really good, but he's not great. What makes Lamar a top 5 quarterback is his ability to make something out of nothing.
I think you're missing my point here. I think that you think we're comparing these quarterbacks. You are downgrading the talent that Joe Burrow has around him.
No, I'm not taking away anything.
Severely downgrading.
Wide receivers.
If you give Lamar that talent, those
on
guys
the Ravens,
on the Bengals,
no, because they don't have an offensive line. So no,
Lamar will be fine with that.
No,
Lamar
as a pocket passer is not the same as Burrow. So no,
he won't have a pocket, Dylan. The line stinks. They won't have a pocket. He'll have to throw on the run.
Lamar runs out of a clean pocket.
So it doesn't matter. You're saying.
So I'm saying for Lamar, it's not going to make a ton of a difference. But when the pressure's there like that, it's a lot different because that offensive line in Baltimore is great.
So again, you limit his offensive line, but you enhance the talent that he's throwing to.
You think he
gets worse?
Who, Lamar?
You think he gets worse?
I don't think he does better than Burrow, but I think he's still good. The problem is it's different. I've seen Burrow play with a shitty offensive line, and I don't think it matters what receiver he has. I really don't think it matters.
But you know what I have not seen? I have not seen Joe Burrow play with lesser talent. That's what I have not seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because
does that sound like his problem?
But you're
That's a point to be made.
No, it's a point. It's a good point. It's a very good point. But you can't blame the Bengals.
I'm not blaming Joe Burrow. I'm saying Lamar playing with that talent is just as good.
I don't think it's just as good. I think it's worse, but not by worse is a bad word to use there. I'm sorry. But like if Joe Burrow throws 45 touchdowns, Lamar is throwing for less.
But dog, like forget Lamar.
I've seen Lamar throw 30-something touchdowns with that lackluster talent. That's what I'm telling you.
But with more protection.
Oh.
It's a give and take here. That's the thing. If you give Joe Burrow that Ravens team with the protection, it may be completely different too. But I think Joe Burrow, you can put Joe Burrow on all these teams. I think he makes them all better. Like you put Joe Burrow in Miami right now, he's outplaying the fuck out of Tua.
So if you put Burrow on that Ravens team, they're a better team.
Do they win that playoff game?
Which playoff game?
That the Ravens just lost to
yeah, because then you pick on Eli Apple. You get to pick on Eli Apple, so yeah. Because let's not act like Brent Hundley is like great.
And even to that, the Ravens probably beat the Bengals if Lamar plays.
Yeah, I'm not saying Lamar's bad. Why are we saying that?
Does Lamar take that Bengals team to the Super Bowl?
No. I've never seen Lamar come back from behind to win games in the playoffs, so I don't know.
I've never seen Justin Herbert do it, but I'm pretty sure he can.
I've seen Justin Herbert lose games in the playoffs.
A game in the playoffs.
He lost one game.
That's the only game he's played. That's the only playoff game he's played. I've seen them get a lead and just lose it. Like, I don't know what to tell you here.
That's wild. That's wild to me. So you
telling
think,
Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in football.
Yeah, and I don't think so.
I know you don't, but that's because you're ignoring what you see.
You are giving him all the credit and none of the blame.
What blame do I give him? What do I need to give him?
Then why didn't they win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl this year?
Because I was going to say win the Super Bowl. That offensive line is fucking horrible, and they were facing Aaron fucking Donald, who in the second half single-handedly wrecked that game. Like we were all there watching. Like we all saw it. Like we all saw that happen.
So that offense was good enough to get to the Super Bowl, but not win the Super Bowl.
The offensive line crumbled. So, yeah, my problem is the offensive line here. Like, your wide receivers, Jamar Chase wide open on that last play, right? Wide the fuck open, but guess what? He didn't have the time to throw the ball because your offensive line matters.
You don't think Lamar Jackson could have rolled out and got that ball to Jamar Chase?
I mean, he got hit the second the ball was snapped, so I don't really think so. So, no. Again, what good is an open receiver if you're on your back? That's the point of this.
Well,
go watch the play. We could pull up the play if you'd like. The ball snapped, Aaron Donald's in the backfield. It's all within 2 seconds. Because literally on a 3-step drop, that's literally all you have. The second he reaches his drop, Aaron Donald's there.
I would love to see what Lamar could do with that kind of talent.
I would love to see what Lamar could do with that talent too, but until then, we can't. You have to take one with the other. Lamar right now has an awesome offensive line, but no wide receivers. Joe Burrow has awesome wide receivers, no offensive line. It's give or take. Now, if you said, "Oh, we can put Baltimore's offensive line in Cincinnati and then let them both have 5 and 5 and figure out who's better," then fucking fine. But they're different situations completely, and it's different play callers. So who fucking knows?
Who knows?
But I'm a big proponent of Greg Roman being cockeye anyway.
Who knows? But you know that Joe Burrow's the better one.
Yes. I absolutely. Who's the second best quarterback in football?
Josh Allen.
Joe Burrow's fucking better than him.
Why? Why, Dylan?
Because he leads his team to victories.
Josh Allen doesn't do that?
When's the last time he won like a playoff game that mattered? Oh, never. Sorry.
A playoff game that mattered?
Never won a playoff game that mattered.
So playoff games don't matter. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. Do I give him credit for beating up the Dolphins' third-string quarterback?
Oh.
No, I don't. And then in home field advantage, in the snow, in Buffalo, in the element for Buffalo, I watched him suck dick the whole game. While Joe Burrow was just casually fucking them up.
They literally changed the overtime rules
for Buffalo.
Yeah.
And guess what? They still couldn't win.
But Joe Burrow didn't win either.
So you get a whole rule changed for you because everybody felt bad that your team fucked up in the last fucking 30 seconds.
No. Josh Allen did not fuck up. Josh Allen did not fuck up. The Bills' defense fucked up.
Quarterback stat, right?
Oh god, here we go.
Remember that, Anthony? Wins and losses on quarterback stat.
God.
I thought, oh man, fuck.
They're not a quarterback stat to you.
They're not, but I'm using your argument against you. If your argument, wins and losses are
when it's convenient, right?
No, I'm just saying. Look how stupid I sound, right? Because wins and losses are a quarterback stat, right?
God.
If the team doesn't win, it's the quarterback's fault. If the team wins, it's the quarterback's
deflecting. It's deflecting.
But here's what I'm saying: Josh Allen. They made a rule change for Josh Allen just for him to fucking lose. Like he didn't play good in that game. He was bad. So bad that Stephon Diggs was throwing a fucking tantrum. And we all know what happens when Stephon Diggs throws a tantrum. He's gone the next year. So, yeah.
I'm just gonna refrain.
Kill the clock next time in Kansas City, buddy.
Patrick Mahomes is better than Joe Burrow.
He is.
Josh Allen is better than Joe Burrow.
Based on what?
Lamar Jackson is better than Joe Burrow.
Based on what?
Eye test.
Eye test. Mike, I could
Has Joe Burrow ever led the league in passing? Because Lamar Jackson did that. Lamar did that. Lamar has an MVP. Does Joe Burrow have one of those? He doesn't.
But how many playoff wins does Lamar have?
He's one.
That sucks.
He's one.
That sucks. The MVP is real great. And here's the thing. I love Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar's gotten better year after year. But he is not a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. And Josh Allen is a fucking idiot. And sometimes you get great Josh Allen, and most of the time you get fucking dodo bird Josh Allen. And now we saw Josh Allen this year without Brian Daboll, and it's the worst he's looked in 3 years. By far.
The worst he looked in 3 years before the elbow injury or after the elbow injury? Because before the elbow injury,
if you're injured, don't play. If you're injured, don't play.
Oh.
Because then that gives you an excuse. So then I can't accurately evaluate you on the field with the eye test, right, Mike? So the eye test means nothing if you're playing hurt, right?
No, because considering he was compromised and was still playing well, yes. I can only imagine how he would. Yes.
Those stats. I need you to do yourself a favor and look at the stats after the elbow injury, and then tell me he played well. And then I want you to go and look at Houston's starting quarterback and compare stats from that same date. And you're going to say, oh shit, they're the fucking same.
So you think that Houston's quarterback would have beat the Bengals?
I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm just saying, if we're going to say Josh Allen played well,
so
reevaluate.
We can't do 2, so 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4. We will sit.
I don't know. You told me you said the eye test happened, and when I watched the eye test,
you said from the time of the injury, the quarterback from Houston played better than Josh Allen.
I didn't say that. I said the quarterback in Houston had identical stats. I said their stats are the same. I didn't say he was better. So
Michael is so frustrated.
Mike is so frustrated because he's trying to hold me accountable for things I didn't say.
Because we're just going to keep moving the goalposts.
I didn't move the goalposts. I said what I said.
This literal game. Hey,
I said what I
whatever.
said. I'm not implying anything. I'm saying what I'm saying. If you can't argue around what I'm saying and we have to change what I'm saying, then we have a problem.
You're dismissing my reasoning as it doesn't matter. When I can watch the two players play, and based on watching the two players play, determine that one is better than the other, and you're saying, no, you can't do that. It's only stats.
I'm not saying that, but when I asked you if I could do the same thing with the eye test, you told me he was injured, and it doesn't matter. So what's the point of the eye test then? What's the point of the eye test if we're going to make excuses for it?
We're not making excuses.
You just said he was compromised.
He was compromised. But I can still watch him play compromised and analyze how he would play healthy.
Now watch them in the same game and see what happened.
What do you mean watch them in the same game?
Watch them in the same game, in that playoff game in Buffalo. Or are we going to make another excuse for Josh Allen?
So because Joe Burrow had a better game, that means he's a better player?
I think Joe Burrow also had a better season as a whole, even though he was the most sacked quarterback in football.
That sounds like an excuse.
No, I said even though he was the most sacked quarterback in football. So I said in spite of a bad thing, he still had a better season. Where you will say he's compromised, he wasn't healthy. That's an excuse. All I want is to be held accountable for things that I say.
Exactly to the word. Not what you're insinuating, that we all can determine what you're insinuating, but the exact letter to the law. Is it my problem that you
assume something that isn't the truth?
No, it's not my fault.
You know what they say about assuming?
And I'm not dumb, and I know how to use context clues. I'm not dumb.
You know what they say about assuming, Michael?
I will sit
It makes
here
an
and
ass
say,
out of you and me.
man, Dylan, that shirt makes your neck look big. Did I call you fat, or did I just say that shirt makes your neck look big?
I got a thick neck. Because I don't assume anything.
We just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let it go because it will never end.
Next subject.
It will never end. It just will never.
I don't deal in the gray area. I deal in absolutes. It's either black or white. This is why me and Roz got into that argument where I asked him a yes or no question. I asked him yes or no, and he said those options aren't good for me. And then I proceeded to yell at him because he lives in a gray area where he doesn't have an opinion.
Those options aren't good enough for me.
He literally, no, Anthony, I don't know if you remember this or not. He literally
I think I
said,
saw
I don't
parts
like
of that
those responses. Like, they're not good enough for me. On a yes or no question. Roz is that kid in class who he's given multiple choice quizzes to, and it's A, B, or C, and he will write his own option for D and then make that his answer. Just to piss off the teacher.
So,
oh god, I just remember the part where you're like, "Yo, I never want to have this conversation again."
Yeah, I said I'm not even. Not only will I not hold you accountable for this conversation, I never want to have this conversation or bring it up ever again because this is the worst conversation I've ever been a part of. We're gonna hold Chael. You know what? Fuck it. We're talking about it. We're gonna hold Chael Sonnen to being the end all be all on LeBron using steroids.
Well, I dismissed that whole thing because he had to admit that he thinks Kobe may or may not have done steroids because he didn't read that article in which this stupid article that he posted said that Kobe also did steroids.
He said there's an article about it. I'm like, this is an opinion piece. This isn't even like anything factually true about this. Like, he's just an opinion piece. I remember when that piece came out. And he was like, oh, LeBron might have done steroids. Why are people writing about it now? I'm like, this is like 10 years old. What are we talking about? And then he's like, oh, well, Sonnen said this. And I'm like, and I'm letting these guys go. I'm like, wait, we're talking about Chael Sonnen?
Yes,
and he's like, yeah, Chael Sonnen. I was like, the same guy who said LeBron James stopped a wheelchair kid in front of him and told him to move out of his way. And they said no, so he pushed the kid. I was like, that Chael Sonnen? I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, goodbye. The same Chael Sonnen who said LeBron hit on his wife in front of him. Like, what are we doing here?
Why is Chael Sonnen?
No, the same Chael Sonnen who said the Nogueira brothers tried to feed a bus a carrot because they thought it was a cow.
Right.
I'm like, this is the guy we're holding to a high standard here of peak journalism.
This is the guy that we're going to break this huge story that LeBron James did steroids. And that LeBron James magically grew 3 inches in 3 days and then magically shrunk back down. Like, what are we doing?
He was like, oh, did LeBron say he did that? Because if he said that, we got to believe it. And I'm like, LeBron also said he predicted Kobe's 81-point game to a T. Like, let's stop it. Like, there's a lot of things LeBron says he did. LeBron also says he invented the idea of a double album. Like, what are we doing?
Let's stop.
And once I came in with all those, then he was like, oh, well, then I don't know. I'm just asking here.
Then we move the goalpost to the yes or no question. And it just goes on and on because no one on this podcast can admit when they're wrong. No one.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
No one.
I can admit when I was wrong. I said I was wrong about Jalen Hurts.
When did you say that? I missed that. When did you say that?
Like week 5. I was like, yeah, I might have been wrong on him. He's having a great season. I still don't think he's great, but he's much better than I thought he was.
Nah, same. I don't think he's great, but
I'm on record of saying that here. It's just
I will not call you a liar. I will take it.
I was about to say when I admit when I'm wrong. The problem is when I admit when I'm wrong, it just goes over people's heads.
I feel like there was
because I do it so nonchalantly that I'm like, yeah, no, I take the accountability on the chin. I'm like, yeah, nah, I was fucking wrong. Okay, we move.
But speaking of accountability, James, are we here? James and Anthony, if you were with us at the beginning of the basketball season, James predicted that the Sacramento Kings would win 40 games this year, and wouldn't you know it, last week the Sacramento Kings won game number 40. And
About it.
I would have to check. They might actually still be the 2 seed right now.
They won tonight.
I will check live right now. They are the 2 seed. They are currently the 2 seed in the West.
Aren't they on a 15-year playoff drought? If I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
they are.
The longest in the NBA.
And they chose fucking this year to start doing good.
Yep.
Anybody would have made that bet. You know that, right? Anybody would have made that.
No, you were the only one. You were the only one.
Not me and Dylan.
Or
after 15 years of false hope.
I don't believe them either, Anthony. Don't let them hindsight you. They won't take that bet.
No, James.
No,
you said it. I said I like that bet. I
both
like that.
Were like that's a good.
That's awesome. That's a good
15-year playoff drought. Anybody would have taken that bet.
No.
Only you.
Only you.
I will do a survey after this pod.
Go ahead.
I will absolutely do that.
You got to actually talk to people who like watch
in
basketball, though.
In that survey too, though, Anthony. You might get.
I will go to my job. I will go to my job, and I will.
We're not using your job as a litmus test for anything. We're not doing that. We're not going to use your job as the fucking litmus test for if they think the Kings are going to make the playoffs or win 40 games. Like,
the problem with that is that if you ask people today, they're gonna automatically say that they felt that would have happened,
and they'd be liars.
Yeah, that would be fucking liars.
They would absolutely be liars. But like when that happened, me and Mike were like, "That's good. I'm staying away from that." Stayed away from that because that could absolutely happen. There was a world where I saw that happening.
Absolutely happened. I remember
and we live in that world now.
The only reason that Dylan didn't jump on board with you is because he hates Mike Brown. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, the only reason. Brown. Yep, I was like, because I don't like Mike Brown as a coach.
He doesn't like Mike Brown, but
Mike Brown's track record as a coach also like backs me up here.
Not this year.
Not this year. And I'm wrong. Look at that. Look at me being wrong, Mike. Look at me being wrong.
Not this year. So yeah. So that bet for $40, Anthony.
Which Anthony was fighting to the death about.
Still no proof, but I still want to be.
We were all there. We all did it. We were all there. The problem is episode 10 was one of the episodes that YouTube was giving me shit on. And then I went to go re-download it yesterday. It was not in StreamYard.
But I don't. But episode 10's on YouTube though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I was on it. I was on it yesterday.
I was on it yesterday.
Season 2, episode 10, right?
It's not there.
Yes, it was.
It's not there.
Dylan, I promise you it is.
Anthony, I went through the managed videos portion of the YouTube that you don't have access to try to find. It goes episode 9 and then episode 11.
Hold on, I'm gonna send it to the chat right now.
Please do.
Go ahead.
I would love to see it
because then if episode 10 exists, then that's the proof you need.
It absolutely goes 9 then 11.
Episode 10 is on YouTube.
On what?
Hail Mary.
Is it a
season
live?
2, episode 10?
It's a live episode, Dylan.
Also, I couldn't find it. That's why I couldn't find it.
I told you it was on there. I was browsing through it last night.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Are you on this episode?
No, I wasn't on the episode.
You're in the caption.
No, I wasn't on that episode.
No, he might have showed up later.
Anthony and Dylan's bet results.
No, I wasn't on the episode period.
Then where the fuck is that episode?
NBA and World Cup in this live.
You got to go to the live portion.
Where the fuck is it?
But where is it in the episode? I mean, I hear myself in the background.
We can keep. I'll look. We can keep.
Yeah, because like I even try to do research into the. I try to research into the chat, and I can't even find the messages where we talked about the dollar amount. We just kept talking about the
James
bet.
brought the dollar amount. James did show the one with the dollar amount, but we were all there. I just don't know why we can't find it.
It was there. I reminded you in the chat. That's why I posted both of those things, because I've reminded you, and you was like, "Wait, what was the bet again, James?"
No, because I said no. Because I was like, no, I don't believe it's $40.
No. In the beginning, you was like, "What was the bet again, James?" And I was like, "It's not my job to keep you on reminded on your bets." And then I was like, "But it was 40," and you was like, "Oh no, wasn't it 27?" I was like, "No, it was 40 on 40. The bet was $40 on 40 wins." And I was like, and I'll post it in here for you to see it. And you was like, "Whatever, whatever."
I just don't know. I just don't know why I can't pull up any messages from like October of last year. Like,
because Instagram does that.
So,
but it's not worth doing all that digging though. I mean, the deal's done.
You lost. Yes, it's over. You lost. You lost.
Yes.
We found it.
We got him. We got Anthony to finally take a bet and lose the bet on the podcast. Can I get a round of applause?
What are you talking about? I lost to Roz.
You did lose to Roz, but the problem is Roz enables you in your bullshit.
How does he enable me in my listen, guys? Right
you
now,
you were like,
Roz
Mr. B Moore. I'd like to propose a payment plan for $40. I will send you. I will send you $4 a week for 10 weeks.
And Anthony and here's Roz. Whatever you got, brother, I'll take it.
Hey,
whatever you got, bro. Don't worry about it.
The whole time, Anthony's just like,
I'll tell you, Dylan, I'll tell you who the real Uncle Ruckus is. It's this guy right here. Right here. This guy. James. No, James.
What?
Taking money from me like that, man.
Play the music. Anthony, do that. Go ahead. Do your Uncle Ruckus impression of James.
No, I ain't got no Uncle Ruckus impression.
I know you only got $30 to your name. But what does the black man need that money for? What are you gonna do? You don't need it. The problem is I want to go so bad into actual shit he'll say, but it's so problematic that I can't do it. It's so problematic. It's like I have to stop myself right then and there because I was like, "Oh, let me done. I'm done."
Roz understood that, I bust my butt in my life and every dollar counts for me. So he put me on a payment plan. We both agreed to it. I was giving him a hefty sum each week. And then eventually got it paid off.
A hefty sum of $5.
The problem is Roz has you in the palm of his hand at all times. Like you're the fucking court jester. And then all he's just waiting to do is just like, and dance. All it's going to take one time.
You saw.
I can't wait for the heel turn that Roz has on Anthony.
Or maybe Roz is just a compassionate person. All right. Maybe he's just a compassionate person.
The second, if the Lakers get into the playoffs and we pick playoff series and Anthony picks against the Lakers, it's over. Whatever you have with Roz is done. Because he's going to start talking shit to you because he knows you will not argue back with him.
You're lucky that Roz doesn't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. So he's being okay with the fact that you have this bet. But trust me, Laker playoff Roz is a monster you don't know yet.
Yeah. And if you talk anything negative about them Lakers, he's gonna quickly remind you of how he actually feels. And it should have been.
No, but the thing is, I don't hate the Lakers though. Like I've never disliked the Lakers. I just don't like the
that's Roz's sentiment towards the Knicks as well. I don't hate the Knicks.
I just constantly talk shit about them. just over and over.
And you
Even
should,
on Sunday, massively aggressively. Well, I can't expect them to beat the Knicks. I mean, what can you say, man? Knicks play tough. What can I say?
Hey, he's giving us some props.
He's taking a shot at the Lakers for losing to the Knicks. How can y'all lose to? Y'all can't even beat the Knicks. That's what Roz was doing on Sunday. Did you notice
exactly
that?
What Roz was doing.
I mean, I don't.
That he didn't praise the Knicks, but he was shitting on AD. AD getting outplayed by Julius Randle. I can't believe. I wish we had a team that played hard. Like, it's not compliments to the Knicks. He's shitting on the Lakers. It has nothing to do with the Knicks. Just because you want to be blind doesn't mean the rest of us don't see what's going on.
Sheep. You are a sheep, Anthony.
I just don't see what's so problematic about the statement. Y'all will read it.
Because we know what he is.
Some of his conversations, yes, I will admit, I have to log off that chat and just unmute the messages. It's just too much. But other times, I'm like, y'all be like, oh, he's hating. But I'm like, what? This is constructive criticism.
You're naive.
It's just constructive criticism.
No, man.
I've never seen him one time say some hateful shit towards the Knicks. But I swear all he does is throw steepness at the Knicks. And I don't see it. Maybe I need
that
new glasses.
Legendary night of Heineken Roz.
You have no proof.
In that chat.
Okay. No, they'll let it, because when this pod is over, we can pull up because that's what we do on this pod. We pull receipts and just can pull it. It's all in the chat.
He was going sick about the Knicks, and you just and I kept calling you out.
What was the word you said before Roz?
What?
Heineken.
Heineken Roz.
What does that mean, Dylan?
Anthony, he just was regurgitating the same thing sober Roz says.
He wasn't sober. Can't count those words, Dylan.
So if I get drunk, I can say whatever I want about you, Anthony? That's what you're saying?
If I get drunk, I go ahead and crash a car? Because that's what you're saying. Because it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Oh my God!
Because sober Dylan would.
Me and Roz, we've had discussions about the New York Knicks, and they've been very constructive. They've been very healthy discussions. He has no hate towards the Knicks. So
was this on the pod or off the pod? Is this in the chat or off the chat?
This is off the pod, not the chat.
Because I highly doubt that you guys are having these conversations.
I highly doubt Roz responds to you. I highly doubt Roz responds to you.
Hey, Mr. B-Boy, how you doing?
I think his responses are very much like the little cutout you try to add. Let me hit you back.
When Anthony tries to create conversations with multiple pictures that have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. Lies. Oh my God. Anthony. Terrible.
And he calls me a liar. Anthony just says,
"Well, Dylan, you do be lying a lot."
I've never lied about anything. I've never lied about anything. I don't have anything to lie about.
Anthony, how fast did you find that bullshit conversation and try to snip it together?
It took a while. That's why he was real quiet in that chat to do that. It took a while. He's like, "Oh shit, they found me out." Like, we don't know you already.
So I will steer this shit back. The reason I brought up 40 wins was because I wanted to ask what we feel like it's a two-part question. What do we feel is the ceiling for this Kings team? And have they already had a successful season, or do they need to win a round in the playoffs to make this successful? Because right now they're the 2 seed. So getting bounced in the first round, if Milwaukee or Boston got bounced in the first round, this is a disaster. So
is it safe to?
What are we doing with the Kings? What are we doing with the Kings?
Go ahead, Anthony. Start it off.
Well, what are the Kings right now? They're still the 2 seed, right?
They are the 2 seed. 41 wins.
The cool thing is the Kings didn't have the expectation.
Let them go, Anthony Dylan.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Anthony.
James, I'm glad you were just talking just now because I had an idea. I didn't want to say nothing till we got on the pod, but I want to make another Kings bet with you.
I don't think James wants to make another Kings bet. I think he got his 40
No,
wins.
don't speak for him. Let him decide.
I'm just saying what I think.
I don't care what you think.
I can't wait to hear this. I can't wait to hear this. You want a full screen, Anthony? Is that what you want?
No. We don't need full screen.
Full screen him and let him propose the bet because I can either take it or not take it at this point. So,
Okay.
All right.
I am proposing to you a bet that the Kings do not make it out the first round.
Okay. I have no fight in that because the thing is they have not been to the playoffs in 15 years. They can have a batter in their back, but at the same time, this team has no playoff history or anything like that besides Harrison Barnes, maybe. So, or DeMontis Sabonis with the Indiana Pacers. But the thing is, this team is very young. They have no playoff history to go off of to know if they'll be comfortable to deal with what comes with that. So that's a hard take bet, because we don't know how they're gonna play out now. Now, the 40 wins, I mean, you could probably say it's comparable because we didn't know what they will be. I mean, I felt like they were already a 30-something win team, and they added more pieces to the team. So it was kind of a no-brainer that they'll be a 40-win team. Now, being a number 2 seed, I think that's because the West is not as dominant as they were in previous years. So that's what's more surprising than
But here's the
anything.
thing: they would have the Timberwolves first round. The Timberwolves. You don't think they could beat the Timberwolves?
That's a scrappy team. That team almost beat the Grizzlies in the playoffs.
I know.
I don't know. But do I have stock in that bet? I don't know. That bet will be me just trying to prove a point. I don't think that's a good bet.
It's up to you, man. It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good bet, man.
What was that noise?
Yes.
It's music that
James bet on the Sacramento Kings because Anthony's making a stupid ass bet about teams we don't know when matchups that aren't there. Typical stupid bet made by a team.
Nah, get your ass in here, Mike.
I was sitting here waiting, like, James, how are you going to take this bet? We don't even know who they're going to play. Like,
I mean, but it's content, so I got to stretch it out a little bit. But listen,
we didn't know the Kings were going to win 40 games this year.
I
James
did.
did.
I knew that right off the bat.
But we don't. Oh my God.
God did.
Can we safely assume the Kings are going to make the playoffs?
Yes. Are we going to make a bet that they're not going to make the playoffs? I'm not touching that bet.
You want to do that bet? I'll do that. I'll do 5 spins. The Kings make the playoffs.
So no one in here thinks the Kings can make it out the first round.
I don't know.
Depends on matchup. If they match up with the Lakers, I want no part of that. If I'm the Kings,
I want no part of that. Exactly. I want no parts of that. But if you telling me they're going to get Minnesota, or
I'll take that. Or
they're going to get Minnesota, or you're going to
well, I'll tell you right now.
Or they're going to get what's left of Dallas. I'm going to take that.
Whoever the Kings match up with come postseason time.
OKC, like, they're going to win. Like,
whoever the Kings match up with come playoff time, that bet is still there on the table for anyone to take.
Oh,
I like that. We'll bet.
Yes.
We know.
So leave that in the vault.
We can wheel spin to decide who gets the bet.
Okay.
We clear the wheel. It's like James, Dylan, Mike, whoever is interested, put it on, and that way.
Quality wins.
Because then Anthony won't play favoritism.
Mhm.
He did with Roz last year in the NBA Finals.
That's a good one. Anthony definitely will definitely say, "Hey, sorry, Dylan, that bet wasn't for you. That was for such and such." But no, nothing you can do about it now.
Yep, because he knows damn well I wouldn't have let him go on a payment plan, and I wanted it all in nickels.
Oh yeah.
Super inconvenient.
Oh yeah. Since
Anthony,
it's all
you're lucky I was busy at work today. I was gonna go to the ATM. I mean, I was gonna go to the bank and get $40 in singles and just hold
oh yeah. Since I came up with this bet, this is my bet. If I lose,
No.
I get this payment plan. I get to set up a payment plan.
How much are you betting? Like, what is happening?
We're not doing
$41.
no payment plans for any bet under $60.
like
It's not your bet, Dylan.
Like that needs to be a established rule. Let's notarize that.
See, that's where you messed up, Dylan. It's not your bet. It's mine.
I know, but we need to have a rule for the pod where we don't set up payment plans for anything under 60 or 50 or whatever the fuck it is. And then we can make it a legal document because your boy's a notary.
Why is it that Roz had no problem helping her brother
enables
out?
You. We don't enable your bullshit. Enable your bullshit.
He enables you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Well, we can start that after this deal because with this bet is a payment.
You know what, Anthony? Because of that, if it lands on me, I will agree because we said it after you said it. So I will.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
I will not be.
I can't speak for the
honor.
Yeah, I cannot speak for the other two. But at least I will. But I want it in nickels in person. Like if you're gonna be sending me a payment plan, I don't want it Cash App, Zelle.
But Dylan, here's the problem.
No, I want it.
Dylan, here's the problem. It's not your bet.
No, I'm saying if it is my bet because we're wheel spinning for it. Because you said it was an open bet, so we'll spin for it.
Okay.
So I will agree to your payment plan, but your payment plan has to be on my terms.
But you never know, Anthony. It might just be Dylan because what if they match up with Phoenix? I'm gonna say I'm out. So I'm out. I'm not agreeing to nothing until I see the matchup. So
so I see the matchup.
Phoenix, I'm not touching that bet.
Not touching
Absolutely not. Because this bet could very much still be null and void. Like we're all out. Go find some other fucking fool.
I'm not touching that.
I'll talk to the fools at your job.
Now, if the Kings get the Clippers, I might dip my toe in that if they get the Clippers. Maybe. Golden State, I don't know. I don't trust them.
Well, if all y'all decline, then just put it in the chat. See if Josh or Rob will take it.
That's a good idea. But right now, it's open.
It's open
Very
bet.
much to be closed.
So, but again,
get a shitty matchup. It's like nope.
But again, the question remains though: what is it? Let's say they get a winnable matchup. Is it a failure? Failure seems too strong of a word, but if they don't get out the first round, let's say they do get Minnesota and they lose to Minnesota, does that put a stain on what's been a great season for them?
Absolutely not.
So.
Well, if they get swept, then yeah.
No, even if they get swept, because they're still a young team.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't use that young excuse against swept by fucking Timberwolves.
You can.
Get swept.
Get swept by the goddamn Timberwolves,
I think
man.
regardless, because this team didn't have any expectations, and for them to be where they are, everything from now on after 40 wins is house money. Yep. House money. They could do no wrong because Sacramento is going to be awesome in the playoffs.
That game 1 is going to be a madhouse.
Madhouse. So, like, they are playing with absolute house money. They cannot lose. Like, even if they lose, they win. Because now you have precedent. You may, again, California is still a big market. It may not be a big city like Sacramento, but you may get some more people. They built the team the right way.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs. If they stay as the 2 seed, they have a resume of regular season and standings to say, all right, they're a piece or two away from doing something. Now, what that something is, I don't know, but they're a piece away or a bench team away from doing something. And I think that's a win because no one saw them getting here besides me. No one saw them getting here, and that's just a win. It's been 15 years, to even make the playoffs. We're not even talking about winning it all. We're just talking about getting to the playoffs, getting to the postseason. So I think it's a win regardless of what happens.
Yeah, it's a lot different than any of these Eastern Conference teams that are like a top 4 seed. That's expected. If they get swept in the first round, then it's like, oof, that's bad. That's bad.
They get swept in the first round. It just goes, all right. They didn't have any. They don't have any playoff experience, and we need to find out what we need to do next year going towards that. They build off of that. It's Mike's theory about the Knicks. You do really good, and you build in the off season, and you see what happens the next season.
Yeah, but since it's their first year, if next year it's kind of similar, then it's like, all right, you got to start moving some people. That's the part, because your window starts now. Your window starts now the second you get to this point.
Nightmare fuel.
Nightmare fuel. But guess what? I'm being consistent.
Nightmare
am I not?
fuel. When you start that, your window starts down.
The second you go into the playoffs as a second seed after not being in the playoffs at all, this is your window.
Win the championship in 2 years, or to blow the whole thing up. Blow it all
up. It's almost like I'm consistent as fuck with my takes.
And it's a terrible take.
Go tell that to owners of NBA teams. And they're like, he's right. Because they all do it.
And that's why they stay in that cycle.
He said 2 years. He's even giving him a shorter lease than Leon Rose because he gave him 5.
Yeah, well, they're ahead of schedule, so that's the worst thing that could happen. It's the worst thing that can happen being ahead of schedule.
I don't want to go that.
We won't. Just I want Mike to know that I'm consistent with my takes.
You ain't got no choice.
Not me shitting on the Knicks.
You ain't got no choice but to be consistent. Ain't got no choice.
I always am.
Even if you don't believe it.
I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it.
I agree with that, Mike. I agree with that one.
I wouldn't say it if I don't believe it.
Yeah, sure.
Because that goes back to me not lying about anything. Anthony.
You lied today.
About what?
Which team did you want to win, Dylan?
Neither team. It didn't matter.
Which team? Yeah.
It didn't matter.
You don't want to talk about it.
It didn't matter. I was going to fence Hop regardless. I was going to fence Hop regardless.
Don't want to talk about it on the
pod. I said if I was going to root for a team, it was going to be Puerto Rico. And guess what? Puerto Rico promptly spanked the ass of the fucking Dominican Republic. And I got to talk shit to my fiance. So, bunch of fucking losers they are, those Dominicans.
Clippers are now the 5 seed. I am so upset with the Lakers for losing to the Rockets tonight because they could have been the 7 seed.
Yeah, you saw Anthony Davis come out and be like, I'm like, the doctors and the team are telling me I literally can't play. Like, I want to play. They're telling me I can't play back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Sure. They said he can't play back-to-backs?
Yeah, they said they will not let me play back-to-backs.
With their season on the line. Wow.
And promptly lost to the Rockets. I need LeBron to come back now.
Like that's such a crazy thing to just throw the team.
They only lost by 4 though, too.
Whether it's 4 or 40, like you still lost the game you should have won.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he came out and was like, I'm just throwing these guys on the bus. I want to play. They said no.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like, restrict his minutes, if anything.
Exactly. Stagger his minutes.
The
Like,
season is on the line.
there is no tomorrow. As
Creed.
Apollo Creed. Yeah, it's Apollo. There is no tomorrow. But, all right. I mean, the Lakers are still in 10th. They're still in the play-in. So, all
How
I
many
have to
games
do...
left?
The Lakers have played 70 games. So the Lakers have 12 games left. Looks like everybody has about 12 to 13 games left. Braun will probably be back in about 10. So
They're depending on how the season looks, he may be done for the rest of the season to postseason.
he might be. It's
only
scary.
12 games. They're like, all right,
but it's gonna
they're gonna need all
stagger
the
though.
games.
It staggers though, James. The season's not gonna end until like the first or second week of April. Like it staggers because of college basketball. It's gonna drag.
Yeah,
so,
this next like 2 weeks is going to be like no NBA games.
Yeah, so this time, but it's still like, listen, if I get Game 7 Braun in a play-in situation, then I'm taking it.
They got their schedule.
It's kind of tricky.
Yeah,
it's tricky.
They have like their games are like winnable and not winnable, and not
winnable.
That's what the rest of the schedule is. And so Anthony, you're gonna be on for a ride, man. You and Mike, you guys are along for a ride because the 17th, which is in 2 days, they play the Mavericks. Then
Mavericks without Kyrie Irving.
Then they play the Magic.
Win.
Then they play the Suns.
Loss.
Then they play the Thunder.
The Thunder have been giving them trouble all year.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Then they play the Bulls back to back.
Tricky, but they got to win. They have to win. They have to win.
They can get one of those.
Then they play the Timberwolves to finish out March.
And that's a tough game.
Then they play the Rockets again.
Got to beat their ass the second time.
And then they play the Jazz.
Win.
Which they play THT. So when THT plays the Lakers, you never know.
but by that point, James, Utah should be done, and then it's 1-2-3 Cancun for them. So that's gotta be a win.
You never know because some teams are still are in the route of spoiling other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then they play the Clippers.
And that's the money's on the table because the Clippers are coming from
Clippers have beaten the Lakers
27 times in a row or something.
Yeah, they haven't lost to the Lakers. So like there you go. And then they play the Suns again, and then they play the Jazz again to end the season.
Win 1-2-3 Cancun.
You hope so.
1-2-3 Cancun.
You hope so because right now they are a game behind the Lakers.
1-2-3 Cancun.
If it's so easy to say that about them, it's easy to say that about the Lakers, bro.
What seed is the Lakers?
Listen, let me tell you, I'm going to give you a hot take.
The Lakers are the 10th and the Utah Jazz are the 11th. That's what I'm saying. They're a game.
Yeah, the Jazz are.
Listen to what I'm about to tell you. I am lukewarm right now on the Mavericks making this play-in. The Mavericks is a team that I'm getting the danger light's blinking for me. Like the light is it's blinking. I don't know if you've been watching them, James. That team looks like they got issues. Like
I don't see that happen.
They play.
I see them
no defense.
No.
Oh, Anthony, it's almost like I said they fucking wouldn't. Look at that.
Did I disagree on that though?
You said they're going to be a favorite because of all the points they're scoring. They don't. They may score 140, but they're going to give up 190.
They play no defense.
Well, it's like
stop them in the fourth quarter. Problem.
Because it's just gonna be in two guys' hands. And it's gonna ISO. So figure it out. They don't trust nobody else.
In my defense, they take the term of no defense to like unforeseen levels. Like I literally did not think they were going to be this inept on the defense.
Luka's a horrible defender, and then Kyrie, who doesn't want to be there, isn't going to play defense. He'll sit down when he needs to be.
Yeah, but he's not Marcus Smart.
He's not going to play every position. But like you can't. I think since he doesn't really want to be there, you're never going to see him really sit there and play defense. And he's not playing basketball. So like, how can you win games when your second best player is not on the court, and you traded like two guys on your team that were
your
important?
two best defenders. Your two best defenders.
And your second best shot creator in Dinwiddie. Now you don't even have that. Tim Hardaway is now your second best shot creator. And it's like, oh, well, shit.
And that ain't going to get it done.
Nope, all three of you guys should know about that.
Let me tell you, that ain't going to get it done.
So, like, how do you win games if you can't score or play defense?
The Dallas Mavericks are the New York Knicks of the past in the West.
What do you mean?
Because they had Porzingis, they had Tim Hardaway Jr. They
got all them Knicks players. Ntilikina is still on that bench. Yeah. They're all still over there.
Yeah, Knicks of the West. Knicks of the West.
The crazy thing is, here's a fun net stat for you. I haven't had anything on the pod recently, but Mikal Bridges has scored more points than Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant combined since the trade. Because they're not playing basketball.
That's nothing.
KD is nothing.
KD is I will never talk shit about Kevin Durant because all of Kevin Durant's injuries over the last fucking 3 years have all been freak fucking accidents.
Mm-hmm.
But like he plays one game, like 2 games, and then bam, fire whoever fucking is supposed to mop that floor. Fire.
But it wasn't a slip. No. Yeah, it wasn't a slip.
No, he landed bad, right?
Like that. He rolled his ankle on his own. It was just bad.
That's what's crazy. I've never seen anybody just like go for layup and just roll their ankle without something happening.
I had something
that's crazy.
To me before.
Like that's insane. The Kyrie Irving thing, I just expect. I just expect something to pop up with him. I didn't think it was an injury, and I hate that he's injured because he's awesome. But like, these are the problems that I've had. I empathize with Phoenix. I empathize with Dallas a little bit, even though I think they made their own bed here. But more so with Phoenix. Like, I understand what it's like. It's like, man, once you get Kevin, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over. And then you finally get Kevin, it's too late.
Yeah, because what was the first injury?
It was still the one he had on Brooklyn. Are you talking about since he been Phoenix or like in general?
In general, the first injury was
last year, the MCL.
It was the Achilles. He was still coming off the Achilles.
Well, he had the initial Achilles injury when he came to us, missed a whole year, came back, had a knee issue in that first season with the big 3, and then came back at it.
What's the kid on that was in the dunk contest that's on Pelicans? He ran into his knee, pushed somebody.
Yeah, yep.
Into his knee. Oh, pushed Brown into him.
Yep. And then the next year it was the MCL, and that was last year. And then this year was the other MCL because of Jimmy Butler falling on him. Freak accidents, all of them freak accidents, and it sucks. So I hope he figures out. They said if this was a playoffs, he'd fight through it, but like you don't want to. Like it's all compound injuries with Kevin Durant. It's once you injure one part of your leg or a ligament in your leg, everything else in your leg is more prone to get injured because of the compound injuries, and it sucks. But it's just Kevin Durant is a walking compound injury at this point.
He's a long guy, man.
Mm-hmm. And usually those taller guys have foot, and he already has an issue of a foot issue before. So it all can stem back to that. It can all stem back to that.
He's kind of overcome that. So the foot wasn't an issue since OKC, and then it's just been leg and knee since then.
So it sucks, but I hate to sound like this, but it sounds like that's on the trade. All right, we move.
Oh
yeah,
man.
I'm tuning into this other bet, man. This Lakers bet between Dylan and Mike. I'm tuning into that full throttle now.
Me and Mike. I was saying we're all everyone else are on the same page.
Sorry. And Mike, I'm tuned in full throttle to that bet now because that's the one.
Yo, it could really go either way.
It's a roller coaster. This is
It's
very
volatile. It's volatile. It's very volatile. So we will look at that.
Like you're wild, man. You were supposed to be rooting for the Lakers to win that Knicks game.
Absolutely not.
My point was because we have the room to lose a game, whereas the Lakers don't really have much room to lose games.
Don't. But the Knicks had lost.
Wait, how do we have room to lose games?
The Knicks
we're losing 3 games in a row. We needed that game back.
The Knicks needed that game. Absolutely not.
We needed that as a serious confidence boost.
At the end of the day, James, it's blue and orange. Lakers can go jump off a cliff. Don't care.
I mean, Brooklyn's on your back right now, so you can't really.
Oh gosh, shut up!
No. At the time,
I know what you're trying to say, but they're not.
I mean, I'm not afraid of Brooklyn either.
They're not afraid.
But you don't want Brooklyn to take your play, make you guys a spot lower.
What's the standings look like right now?
But I'm not afraid. Brooklyn's gonna fall apart.
The Knicks are 5th right now.
Brooklyn will be
and the Nets are 6th. We were a half game in front of them yesterday before we won, and now we're a full game in front of them.
I mean, I guess I see what you're saying. We don't want to run into the Philly.
You don't want to run into an issue where you got to fucking
as much as I
lose
don't
a playoff
really,
seeding spot.
I really don't want to play Cleveland either, but
it's not like Cleveland.
Have you seen the way Philly's playing?
Have you seen the way the top 4 teams in the East have been playing?
I want none of that.
I don't think you want any part of Philly when you have your center in his feelings right now.
Okay, because Cleveland's
Mitchell
that
Robinson
much better.
is fucking in his feelings right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is up with Mitchell.
Cleveland is not that much.
What's crazy is you guys I don't understand with these New York teams where we're winning football, basketball, baseball games, and then you have the one guy who's just got to be like, yo, I'm mad about it. I'm really mad about us winning these games. I don't like my role, but we're winning games. Meh. Shut the fuck up.
I think what Mitch should be mad about is the fact that he doesn't even get a consideration for Defensive Player of the Year, and he absolutely should be in that.
Hasn't played enough games, doesn't he? Has he missed a bunch of games?
He missed about a month. I don't know how many games it was. He missed about a month. But he absolutely should be in the
if Jaren Jackson's up there for Defensive Player of the Year, Mitchell Robinson should be too. But
absolutely. So that's what he should be mad at. Why he's mad because he's not getting touches, bro.
Yeah, your defensive center is mad he's not part of the offensive game plan.
Play. That's my point again.
Just play your role.
That's the point that me and Dylan was talking about as far as specialists and position players. Everybody wants to everybody wants to have more than their actual position. They want to have more responsibilities than they're given and stuff like that. Play your role.
Nobody wants to do their job.
Be a fucking rim protector, man. Just be a rim protector. That's it. Give you $15 million for that.
And get your there.
I hate that I bring this all back to the Nets at the end of the day, but Nick Claxton has tried to have more of a role in the offense, and then this year is the first time in his career where I'm like, oh no, he knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's just playing defense, running the rim, and then here's a dunk, here's an alley-oop,
and you're
getting switched and you're playing perimeter defense. Perfect.
And you're lucky that he was able to tame the beast within himself as well, because he was also saying, I can't wait to get back to the old Clax, which was more of an offensive playing center.
Which is ball handling and trying to shoot jump shots and all these things. And I'm just like, your role here is to do what you're doing.
And I'm not gonna lie,
you excel at it.
It's tough. It's tough when your personality of who you know what you really are versus what you're being told to be in a system can be kind of like identity thefting, because you know what you can do and you feel like you're limiting yourself to a box. So it could be demoralizing at times. And I know that he probably feels like he can contribute a little bit more. He probably thinks that, hey, if we win by 5 or if we lose by 4, if I had 12 points versus 2 points, then there's a difference. But make your fucking free throws. Let's start there.
No, exactly right. He loses
No,
a lot of points
absolutely.
at the free throw line. Like, bro, if he was a 60% free throw shooter, world of difference. 60. I'm not even asking for 50. I'm not asking for 70, 80, 60%. That's slightly more than make one miss one. Slightly more than make one miss one. He can't even do that. So I don't want
like
to
the Knicks
hear
are
it.
rolling. Like, why are you doing this? You can't wait until like after the season to complain.
Good enough of that.
Like that was my problem with Elijah Moore. That was my problem with any of these guys who want to complain about their role. Where it's like, dude, like Elijah Moore complaining when we're on a fucking a win streak. Like, listen, dude, like just shut up. Like we're winning. Like you're sounding like an asshole.
I just don't get it. Like,
Just put your head down, keep moving, and just discuss it quietly. Like voice your frustrations with your team or like your coaches and your front office, but don't let nobody else know about it. Like obviously your
especially in the
teammates
New
can
York
know
Going
about it, but don't let
rogue
the
and
media
tweeting.
know.
He's going rogue and tweeting from his actual Twitter page. This
Like especially with the way the Knicks are right now, fans see that and are gonna be like, "Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?" Especially
Exactly.
basketball fans. New York basketball fans are like, "Dude, fucking, you don't like it, leave."
Mhm.
That's how it's gonna be, and like especially like with these matchups that you could potentially have in the playoffs, you need him, and you need him to understand his role.
Like, bro, like when we get to the playoffs, you have to outplay Jared Allen if the Knicks are gonna win. You have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to outplay Jared Allen, and Jared Allen is a fucking all-star. So I'm asking you to up your fucking game. Like,
Whew.
you don't got to get 20, but I need 8 to 12. I need 8 to 12 and 8 to 12
But he needs to be okay with not even scoring.
Yeah, just hold him.
Like,
he needs to be okay with not scoring. Like if you get points in that role, it's a given.
Protector, bro.
You like in the way the NBA runs now, the like in the last 10 years, the centers that are on these teams that win are guys who just protect the rim and run the floor. Like just do that.
Just robbed Utah and Minnesota for $1 zillion doing just what you're doing. Like, why wouldn't you be like, oh, I can do this for another 5-6 years and make $200 million?
Too. Like, we paid you.
Like,
yeah, we gave him 60 mil.
Yeah, he just got a contract. So I just don't understand it. Like,
it's just stupid.
Don't get it.
It's stupid. That's the type of thing that could ruin the whole flow in chemistry. Is the one guy who's just like, me, and a guy like Josh Hart's gonna be the one that's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So,
because Josh Hart is a blessing.
Oh yeah, he is a blessing.
Hard worker, man.
But on a more serious note, I do want us to get that fourth seed because I do want us to get home court in the first round. I do think that does matter.
No, it does matter. It's just you need help. You need Cleveland to lose, or Well, the problem is they're only 2 games back behind Philly, and if those two switch and you guys end up at the 5 and Philly at the 4, it's just like you. I just don't like the world you guys are in a potential Philly matchup. That's just like horrendous.
Dylan, they're 6 behind Philly in the loss though.
I'm talking about. Oh yeah, well yeah.
They're not catching Philly. They're not catching Philly. Philly is tied with Boston in the loss column right now for the 2.
Yeah, Boston's been struggling.
Boston better watch out.
Well, Jason Tatum's been struggling.
Yeah, although I really don't think it matters. They won tonight.
Yeah.
They won. But I don't think it matters too much for Boston. Boston can win on the road. Boston's bored. You can watch Boston and tell that them dudes is bored. They're ready for the playoffs, and they're just like, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?"
That's a terrible place to be.
Yeah, it is.
Seeding still matters.
Seeding matters, but this is where your coach matters.
Yeah, run through the tape.
Run through the tape, and just like at some point, you have to remind yourselves that like you could win basketball.
Each team should be in playoff mode now. Don't even worry about
Start
where
ramping it up right
games
now.
is 10
This
games
is where you
away.
start to worry about your playoff rotations.
Yeah,
If you don't
yeah.
see your coaches start to shorten your lineups up and like, hey, instead of like the normal 10 or 9, we're going 8.
Yeah,
We're
because
going 8 tonight.
this is when you start stretching guys' minutes. This is when you start doing that so that they're ready for those playoff games. So I'm not worried about Boston. Boston's not going to lose in the first round, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, not to these bottom half Eastern Conference teams. They're not.
We want to talk about Ja, or we know Ja suspended 8
Yeah,
games.
let's talk about Ja because apparently he had an interview with Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose, yes. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I must preface it by saying this one thing. Jalen Rose asking Ja on live TV, whose gun were you holding, is
problematic.
insane.
Oh my god.
That is insane. Bro, we understand you from the street too, but you are asking this man on live TV to tell you whose gun he was holding in his video.
Like, bro, what the fuck kind of stupid shit is that? That's some DJ Vlad shit. Like, that don't even make no sense. Why would you even ask a question like that?
That's a great point. I don't know. Unless Ja's people told him to ask that so Ja could say it wasn't mine.
Nah, that was definitely because it was definitely a clickbait question, because the way he responded was, he said, whose gun was you holding? He said, it wasn't my gun, but I take full responsibility and I need to take more control of the actions and everything that I've been doing in these past couple of weeks. Didn't even answer the question, but completely went to the point of taking responsibility of what he's been doing lately.
Media training.
That question might have been a plan. Yeah, that might have been a plan.
And that interview starts to sound scripted now. Like,
all of them are for the most part. Like an interview with Ja like that is absolutely scripted, and the only reason that interview happens is because of the PR team.
Yeah, that's all PR. That sounds so PR now.
That's all it was. That's all you need to do at this point. It's just
But that's what it is, though. It's always gonna be that way. If the before they have that interview, his PR team says, all right, what questions you have? Let me see the questions. And they get the questions and they say, all right, this is X. We're not answering this. We're not answering that. We're answering this, but he'll answer it this way. Even though you ask this direct question, he's gonna they vet the questions that the PR interview gonna do.
And no disrespect to Jalen Rose is not gonna follow up or reword that question to catch Ja. He's not gonna do that.
No, he's not gonna gotcha.
As opposed to, like, I don't know, Jim Gray or somebody stupid like that will keep pushing until he gets the answer that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the name of the game in that interview isn't to defame him. It's to let him get what he's got to say out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jalen Rose is giving him the Jalen Rose is giving him the platform just to get that out, get it over with.
Mm-hmm. And also, I'd like to pat myself on the back. You want to know why I would like to pat myself on the back, Michael?
Oh boy!
Because I would like to go back to a conversation with me, you, and Josh that was had a couple weeks ago when the first happened, and I said, yeah, he's probably gonna get suspended for conduct detrimental. And Josh is like, no, why would he get suspended for anything? And then I put up the definition of conduct detrimental of being just like distraction to the team and all that stuff. He's like, no, that's not gonna happen. And look where we are. We're here with a conduct detrimental suspension. And then pat you on the back as well for saying he's not going to go into the playoffs. But I said, if the NBA finds something, he will.
You said 50 games.
But
they paid big money to make sure they didn't find anything.
I said big money. Absolutely no way Ja was going to miss a single playoff game.
But we were almost to that point where he was at that 50 game mark. So I wasn't far off.
Yeah, they weren't going to let that happen.
When they said he is still being investigated, Memphis said, all right, how much?
Mm-hmm.
I knew Ja was good. When the cop said that he was good, I was like, yeah, Ja's fine.
That's because they said it hit the account. All right.
We were close. We were close. Yeah. I didn't want that for Ja. I'll preface that. I said that I didn't want that for Ja, but I was stating all the possibilities that what could happen, and then it turned out like, oh no shit, that this could actually happen. Like if they find something, he's done. But I'm glad they didn't.
I'm glad they didn't. Ja will be back.
A great night out, right, Anthony? The floor was covered in money.
Stripper in the thong, sitting on his
what
lap.
do you call him, Anthony? What do you call him?
Thug Morant.
Ah, yes. Wouldn't want him and all money. Go on the internet, flash the guns, and throw the money at the women. Wouldn't see a white man do that. When's the last time you saw Larry Bird or Pistol Pete Maravich or Bob Cousy? George Mikan going to a strip club. Getting all security cameras with guns. White man would never. Ruining the white man's game.
Ruining the white man's game. Damn, man.
God. Oh man.
Anthony, this persona you've adopted of Uncle Ruck.
I just call it how I see it.
I just called it like that.
Hey, you're looking a little more Uncle Ruckusy by the day.
Look, I ain't gonna knock the dude for being in a strip club, but damn, man, you ain't got to trick that hard. That's too much, man.
Listen, man, do what the fuck you want, just don't get them pregnant.
Hey, Anthony, I can tell
common sense ain't so common.
I mean, Anthony. Yeah, he was on Instagram with a gun in a strip club, so yeah.
That night looks very similar to some nights that Drake might have, but the difference is he has NDAs, Anthony. That's the only difference.
You shouldn't get your Drake tickets.
I'm still online. They still put me on line.
I looked up and cry.
No. Don't do it, Anthony. I looked up. Maybe it was because of the venue I looked at, but the pre-sale for those tickets was $1,400. Nah, bro.
What the fuck?
For Drake and 21?
Yeah, those is top acts. We crazy?
But you thought Drake is a top act.
21 Savage is a top act.
Are you paying $1,400 for 21 Savage?
He's a top act. Don't even.
All right, so you would pay that for 21 Savage?
James, this is the same guy who said none of us would be here if it wasn't for Drake.
So, Dylan, would you pay $1,400 for 21 Savage?
I wouldn't pay $1,400 for either one of them.
Exactly.
One, I wouldn't be going to see Drake, so you would not catch me there.
I looked up.
I'm not a Drake guy.
1,400. He's a top guy.
$1,500. Jesus.
Yeah, both.
Motherfuckers asking for rent payments and shit.
I mean, if you want to go to a Drake concert, there you go.
Mm-hmm. They get them commission sales up, Anthony.
Sell a couple more couches, boy. You got it.
Only thing I got left, Dylan, you want to preview this Usman Edwards fight this weekend?
Oh my God, that's this week?
Yes, it's this weekend.
Oh my God.
What's this week?
Yeah, that is this week. When I opened the ESPN app, that's the first thing that came up at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, that is this weekend.
Oh my God. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we only really had 1 week off of like really big fight.
They gave us a week off, but they didn't really give us a week off because Peter Yan probably got packed up in his way. But yeah, week off, and we're right back at it. Usman Edwards 3. Gaethje is fighting. Gunnar Nelson's fighting. I mean,
yeah. I don't care about the other fights on this card, but like I do like Justin Gaethje a lot. So that's going to be a very entertaining fight. You can't miss a Gaethje fight.
You can't miss a Gaethje fight. So,
but I got Leon Edwards getting the shit kicked out of him. So unless Usman comes out like Woodley and just has no gas in the tank.
Yeah, Usman, he has to find that second win because that's what's been happening to him.
If he comes into this fight and applies the pressure that he did that whole fight and just don't drop
rounds,
your guard.
2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Because the first round, he lost the first round.
Yes.
So, like, let's not act, the first round happened. So
no, I know, but it's like when you get to the rest of the fight, you're like, okay, yeah, he applied the pressure. He was winning that fight. Leon had to fucking knock him out to win.
Yeah. And he did.
He had to. If Usman just fights an Usman fight, this should just be decision and new. But I don't know if he's now because he finally got fucking knocked out, like if he now has a fear of that head kick, and that can open up something else because Edwards is such a good striker.
Or if he has, and I hate to say this because he's my favorite boxer, if he has Roy Jones syndrome, where he got knocked out and the chin was just never the same again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roy's chin was never the same.
It's different because he just got head kicked to oblivion.
Sure, I mean, to be fair, no one's not getting knocked out from that head kick. That landed as perfect as you could land a head kick. That was it. So no one, there's no fault in him getting knocked out by that kick. The fault is him putting himself in that position.
I just hope it doesn't fuck with him. That's the only thing. I just don't hope it doesn't fuck with him. But, I like not having Usman as champ because he ran through the division already.
I do too. If Edwards wins, this opens this division up completely.
Completely. And it'd be better for the sport if Edwards wins. But, I don't want to see Usman, run through this division again. I've been there, done that. What am I going to Usman fucking Colby 3?
I'll take it because I hate Colby. I hate Colby.
I think such a good
knock his head off. Knock his head off his shoulders.
There's only 2 or 3 fights you can make in this division that are exciting.
He can run it back with Burns. I would watch that again.
I don't like Gilbert Burns. I don't like Gilbert Burns. You're also a lot higher on guys than I am. I'm Gilbert. Yeah, no. That goes back to you being the nice guy.
And it goes back to Dylan. Everyone stinks, according to Dylan. Everyone in every sport stinks, according to Dylan.
I mean, everyone in heavyweight does stink. I will die on that hill. Everyone in that division is fucking trash because Gon was the best and he just fucking crumbled. So stand on that. Steve is the only one who doesn't stink. But no, I just don't want to see Kamaru do it. I just don't want to see Kamaru do it again.
Goat talk, man.
John Goat Jones. But no, I like the world of Leon Edwards in these matchups. It's exciting. His style of fighting is exciting. Usman's not really exciting. But he gets it fucking done. It's champ shit.
It's done, man. Shit, it is.
Champ shit. He knows what the fuck is going on.
It's goat shit, actually.
Nah. No.
He's in the conversation for that division. He's in the conversation for that division.
Yeah, in the division, yeah, but I'd still rather.
Not all time, but for that division, he's in the conversation.
Because what, he's 175?
170.
Yeah, 170, because they do...
Because the UFC's weird.
Because then they do... Isn't it 175? Is 170?
It's 170.
Jesus Christ.
And then it jumps to 185.
185 and then 205.
Yeah, because the UFC's weird. Because from 170 to 205, there's 3 divisions, because that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like that. I know we're skipping ahead, but the Conor and Chandler fight's gonna be at 170.
Can't wait.
Conor at 170 is fun.
He just gets pieced up. That's why.
Well, he's not gonna get pieced up by Michael Chandler. I think he beats up Michael Chandler. Because Michael Chandler forgets that he's a world-class wrestler all the fucking time. And then he's just I'm going to start throwing. And then Conor's like, oi, mate, you're going to throw the overhand right. Bink, 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 bink. And he's like, Mystic Mac is back. I can't wait for the tough to come to be ready.
I'm gonna, we're gonna wrap this up. But I just want to tell you, Dylan, when you get a chance, Anthony, actually, when you get a chance, just go and look at tonight's Spurs Mavericks game and see how that game went to overtime, and then tell me that the Mavericks play any type of defense. I understand that they won the game, but see how that game got to overtime.
That was a good play call, man.
No, James. No. That was bad defense. That was bad defense. And the Mavericks
and Maxi Kleber was not, his headspace wasn't right there in that play because he just gave the ball up the play before.
Dylan,
I mean, you can't allow the whole starting lineup being double figures. And he
said the play. I didn't say the game. He said,
no, I'm just looking at the box score here. I'm like, there's no way they let the whole starting lineup score double figures and then have 31, 40, 48 on the bench. Like, that's crazy to me. They really just don't play defense at all there.
We're going to come back on this show next week, and they might be even in more trouble.
Their best defender is getting DNP'd. And it's Frank Ntilikina. Jay's a kid, play Frank.
Can't even sniff the court right now.
I don't blame you, he stinks.
Yeah, we would know.
I don't blame you if he stinks, but like you need something there. Sheesh.
Something.
All right, let's wrap it up. Oh, Usman by decision.
Yeah, I'm not betting against Usman. Usman by decision. Usman by 4th round stoppage.
I was about to say, if you're picking Leon Edwards, you want to double or nothing?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's right. I owe you some Gatorade.
Yeah, I'll take Gatorade.
No,
I'll do Gatorade.
Coke.
Well, you said let's do a Gatorade bet, so I was like, okay, cool, Gatorade. I like yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow.
On the tab.
Do a sugar-free yellow Gatorade pack.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm absolutely not betting.
What?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Listen, man,
not.
I got a diabetic living with me now. You got to keep it around the house. You'll be drinking all my fucking shit. Ave, I know you hear me. So I'm drinking my shit.
I was waiting for the response. All right. Well, before you go, Anthony, because we have to. We're not paying bills with this yet, but we have to pay the bills. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button, the notification. Leave us some comments. Answer Anthony's nonsense.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong.
Did you do that, Dylan?
What the heck?
That was not me. That definitely was James. Why would I have that?
Wondering. What are we on? All the platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. For our YouTube viewers, just ignore Anthony pointing at the wrong logo at the wrong time.
He's trying. That's all that counts.
Shout out to our guys over at the No Games Just Business Pod.
Shout out Roz. Shout out Josh.
Yeah, go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, shout out Roz's enabling ass.
Enabling that guy.
Enabling me to be great every single week, like I was this week. Another very good show, and it feels good to be on here to end my day after a long work day, and to be here, and just bless these people with my great takes. And I'll be back next week. Yes. I'll be back next week. All right. Peace out.
It's the theme song, man.
Yo.
Oh, speak on it. The podcast where only one of them is not.
Yo, let James say his piece, man.
Oh man. But as far as having a wonderful week, this was a wonderful week for me. Start of the week as well. You know, the night comes and your prophecies have been met. You know, hashtag 40 wins. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings. Get me my dub over Anthony for my double dub 40.
Ooh.
44. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Triple B's chat. Shout out to the Hopeful Knicks chat. Those guys are great in there. If Anthony was in there, they probably kick you after the first game of being in that chat. But yeah, man. Shout out to Roz. Shout out to January Josh. January Josh, man. That guy. He'll be in here soon, right? January Josh that's a good guy right there, man. Getting the whip crack.
Stop making all that racket.
Sorry. Nah, I love my guy Josh. Liquid. He already know. But yeah, man. Just follow me on Instagram as Breezy__BILLZ. Follow me on Twitter as at Breezy5X, like it says right there. And I'm out.
_podcast, pop me _ on all social media platforms. You can follow me and watch me tweet live about my feelings of Aaron Rodgers and why I'm upset. Mikal Bridges is dope. We enjoy Mikal Bridges here in Brooklyn. Don't roll your eyes, Michael. I can see you. Nets won that trade. Go Jets.
That was short and sweet. Yes, thank you.
Karl Malone.
Thank you everyone for watching. Follow us. Follow me on all the socials at IAM_MBJ. Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. Actually, before I go, fellas, since the tournament is starting before we come back, anybody want to throw out their national champion real quick?
Alabama.
Gonzaga.
Timmy.
I'm not revealing my answer on the pod. I'm sorry.
I'm not revealing mine either.
Alabama's just an NBA team, so we're rolling. We're rolling.
Gonzaga is the best college basketball player, so we're going with that. College basketball player, though. College.
Okay, I'll reveal mine. Texas A&M.
That's all I needed to know. I feel
Can
so
I
much.
ask you who you have them facing?
I believe I have them facing Baylor.
I mean, okay. All right.
I mean, Anthony, with those picks, it'd be very hard for Mike to be last place. But who knows? I lost my whole Final Four over the weekend, and it's still.
Listen, if Duke and Michigan State lose, I am done.
Oh, I'll still be in good shape.
Done. So
I got Alabama, UCLA.
Yeah, I could be in trouble.
The two best programs in the tournament, because I think UCLA is absolutely fucking absolutely.
Duke is the best program in college. You didn't think the best.
Mike, shut the fuck up. Fucking
What
Homer.
are you talking about?
No.
Come on, James, who's your winner, man?
No, let him rock. We'll look at his bracket off screen.
All right, but from us to you, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
Knicks